Hi, besties. Welcome back to the Single Besties Podcast. It is me, Montana Doran, and today we're joined with an OG bestie. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, everyone. How are you today?
Say your last name. It's
Okay,
cute.
my last name is Cacioppo, Sophia Cacioppo, old friend of Tana's. We were OG podcast besties slash single besties at the same time. Like we were really here for the whole entire ride. Like I saw this from ideation to creation here today. So thank you for having me.
It truly means a lot. Yeah, you were here for when I first started podcasting, then when I started making those TikToks, to now we're here. And
Yeah.
we also were like trying to date during the pandemic.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like you actually like were someone I talked to daily when all of like the shitstorm of my dating life was going on. So like you really saw every color. Like
This is when we were still Snapchatting boys.
yeah. Yeah. This was I for the record I was still in college. So
I had just got out.
okay, so I feel like that's like fair. And
Fair.
also like COVID like how did we fall in love with people like through a screen and then like met up in a parking lot? Like what? Like you know what I mean? Like it was just like so weird back then. Like there wasn't even anywhere to go. It was so messed up. Like
The first like single besties TikTok that went crazy on the internet was about like if you're dating in the pandemic, like go to the grocery store.
nope. But then you got to think like who even could like see you in the grocery store if you had like all your you were like all wrapped up and it was like freaking like olden days like
I would do my makeup from my forehead down.
wait, I'm pretty sure you made a video about that. You're
I
like, here's how to
did.
do.
I did. I would make a video about anything back then. Still now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep the grind up. You capitalized on it when it was hot, in my opinion.
Now we're
Like,
trying to bring it back.
well, I love that. I mean, me too, but not very successful.
No, don't say that. I love what you do. I love your little girl talk recipes and home. We'll get there. We'll get
Yeah,
there.
we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, when is the last we start with a question. When is the last time you went on a date?
So, like, the last time I went on a formal date, I've had a lot of like self discovery in the last 3 years. Like, just so we all know, like the last time I went on a formal date was like almost 2 years ago. Like, I like really have been like self care girl bossing. Like I almost girl bossed a little too hard where like I lost myself and then I had to like get back on track where I'm like, we're traveling. We're making plans with the girls. Like we're not home. Like I am home. Like I work from home. But like we're going out and doing things and it's not always like partying. But the last time I like went on a formal date was almost 2 years ago, which is kind of frightening to say. But
No,
it's the truth.
honestly, you would be surprised. A lot of people have answered that. I think like literally the pandemic did kind of mess up dating a bit.
Yeah, like not even. And like it was like after I had graduated college and like a little bit after. And it was like someone that I knew, but like not well. It was like a familiar face. So like we had mutual friends and I felt comfortable. And then like it was like one and done. It like mutually like was good after. But I'm just like, I'm more afraid of like just meeting a complete stranger that I have like zero connection with before. Like I feel like the dating apps just are like so we could get into that too, but like I have a lot of opinions on them. I just do not think they are for the greater good of our society.
Go into it. I agree.
Like literally I'll like go in spurts of like having it, and when I say it, I usually only have Hinge. Like Bumble I never had success with. Tinder I've way past that. Like that's done. So Hinge, like, I feel like is what I hear a lot of people use. And so I'll go in spurts of like, yeah, like I should just try. And then I'll like go on, make my profile, do everything different. Like I like literally had my girlfriends all over and we like airplayed it on my TV. And I was like, okay, like we're going to make my Hinge, like blah, blah, blah. And like a few of my friends are in relationships. One's getting married, like literally in a couple weeks. So like I have a lot of different perspectives. And then I have my single friends too. So it's nice to have like all of the perspectives when doing that. And it's like you re-download it and then they give you all the hot people in the beginning. And then like suddenly it's like, are these bots? Like who are these people? Like I'm sorry, I can walk out my front door and see prettier people than what they're serving me.
No,
And they want me to spend
literally.
money. They want me to spend money on the app to get the hot people. And I'm not okay with that, okay?
No, it's infuriating that they just want to capitalize on people's like wanting to find a relationship because it's like, and I also feel like I think that's why we love like shows like Love is Blind and stuff because like
I would
you
thrive. That's like my dream is just to like go on a dating show because I just need to be corralled for a month and things will happen, you know?
I feel like you could do Love is Blind.
Oh, I would fall in love with someone that I would never probably ever speak to in the wilds. Like seriously, I just know that would happen.
No, it is like capital like because you're putting everything out there. Like literally at least usually you would meet people in the wild and then you would get to know them and that was like part of the fun of it. But now like you know what everyone like does for work. You know what they look like in all these different photos. You know like it's too much about them from an app.
Well,
It
and
takes out the
two,
mystery.
and even like say apps aside, like say you find someone on Instagram or like even like you meet someone out like with friends and they're a mutual friend and you like find them on Instagram and whatever. Unfortunately, I literally do this for work. I work in social media influencer marketing. So I'm literally like looking at people's profiles all day and like basically creating a story about them like in my head to like pitch to my client where I'm like, I can't even separate that. Like, I have created a whole story. I've created a whole movie about this person before I even met them. And I'm like, I know what your parents do, what you eat on Sunday for dinner. Like, I have it all figured out. And I just hate that, like, my brain goes to that place. I'm like, literally, I have no clue. Like, you know nothing about me nor care to even think that further before. But it just, I feel like a lot of people that happens to like too quickly. Like we just like future trip and jump into it really fast.
Oh, I mean, I am guilty of that. Like, if I've ever went on more than one date with person, like I've definitely envisioned our future, like what our wedding will look like, and like it's not healthy, but like it's human.
Yeah, like if you don't, like, do you have a pulse? Do you have a heart? Like, are you like, do you have any feelings? Like, because if you didn't, like, I genuinely don't know how, and like, kudos to them, but like, I genuinely don't know how people do like date either multiple people at once and or just like go on lots of first dates like in a short amount of time. Unfortunately, I think I'm like too social where I like barely have time for myself because I always have stuff going on where I'm like, how are you even making time for that for someone else? I just don't understand how that gets done. But at the same time, I do think that's like how you do find what you want and weed out what you don't. But I'm
I'm
also
not
like
that
not trying to
person.
waste time. Yeah, like I don't got time to waste. I've already
No, I
wasted enough on other people. Like
no, literally. I've been thinking that because like I don't think I'm in the place. Like I got out of a relationship and I don't think I'm in the place to want another relationship, but I've been recently feeling like I want to go on a date, but I like don't know how to even do that. Like
right, like on
what was that? I, the screen just put up a
they
thumbs
said
down and I
they
didn't
said yeah,
even
we agree. No.
that was so rude. I didn't even have my hands up and it did a thumbs down on the
Maybe I thought
screen.
your mic was like the hand.
That is so rude of Riverside.
I'm dead. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. No, but yeah, I just like don't have time for that either. But another topic in terms of like just meeting people out in the wild, I feel like when I don't have my apps at all, like I just most recently downloaded it because I like wasn't really traveling or anything for a little bit here, but I was. And when I was traveling and didn't have it, like I was talking to like all of these strangers, just like where we were going, like, do I know their names, where they live, phone, like nothing. Like it was more just like I just needed to get back in the game. And like I know I can talk to people. Like that's not the problem. It's like getting the courage just to like say hello to start a conversation.
Yeah.
That's
I
half the battle.
prefer I prefer meeting in the wild. And I think
Yeah,
people out here do it a lot more. Like in Georgia, nobody meets in the wild, I feel like, but
right.
I've met so many like people out in the wild here. Like you just have to talk to people. Like people do talk back.
Well, right. And it's like again, like you don't have to be their friend or like have it go any further than like however long you're talking in the wild. Like either you can choose to see them again or like never again. But I feel like even like with friendships too, like people meet their best friends out and about doing something, they're at a workout class or whatever it may be. Like you never know who you're going to meet, but I feel like I get like comfortable with like my bubble, and I don't like to, like I always say, I'm like, I don't need another friend. Like that sounds really mean, but I'm just like, I don't need another friend. Like I'm looking for my partner, not I don't need another friend to just like tag along, like, you know.
No, yeah, I get it. I'm like good on friends. I need a man
Yeah,
or
I'm
want
like,
one. I don't need one.
yeah, I'm
But
like, well,
okay, you
eventually.
you did mention that you have, and I want to get into this. Like, what has this journey been, this like self-discovery? Because like you have girl boss. Like we can get to the house part of it all because like that's the most girl bossing thing. But like what led to this like self-discovery journey?
Living with your family definitely makes you internally reflect, because you're like, whoa, like you're seeing all these things. At the end of college, I like had a really long situationship that just kind of like, as annoying and like bad as like it was for me, I got a lot of like that dating fatigue out of like, okay, like this is not going to happen. We can't keep going in this pattern. And like, no one really like swept me off my feet. And I'm like, okay, like let's look in. I need to start focusing on myself. And I hadn't gone to therapy in like quite some time. And I went back to therapy. I went to therapy for probably like 2.5 years, like straight, like once a week straight. Completely like, I don't even want to say like rewired my brain, but like it made me just like have a different outlook on everything. And like just dealing with my like family stuff and relationship stuff and like whatever. And like I'm not perfect. Like I'm sure by the time someone comes along, I'm gonna have to go back to therapy and work on new things that I haven't had to work on. But having that like inner, where like certain things would trigger me and certain things would happen, like it doesn't anymore. Like I know how to like figure it out on my own, which like you shouldn't have to always do it alone, but like it helped that I didn't always have to like come crying to someone like after something happened, where I feel like that was kind of like my old coping mechanism. But again, you know, we mature, we grow, we have all these different things, but I started just like really investing in myself, in my career. I chose to live at home after graduation because I just couldn't fathom renting. I just like thought that was like, I was like, if I'm going to be making this money, like I need to own my own house one day. So I most recently just bought my house that I'm in right now. It was the house that like I had lived with my father, but then he moved out. So I didn't really have to move, which was fabulous. But I like had
That
that,
is.
yeah, I like had this goal, and there was like light at the end of the tunnel, and it was like these 3 years of like personal growth, like in conjunction with like that other growth that for me, I was like, okay, like I'm ready. And like I haven't really taken that leap of faith yet in dating, but I also like personally, and this is just like my own personal like problem, like I just wasn't gonna be like, oh yeah, like want to come back to like me and my dad's house. Like that just like was not my vibe. Like I was like, he needs to be out before someone can come in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You have to make room for what you want. That's so
yes,
true.
yes. So like I've fully made room, and like my dad was never really home, honestly. Like he was always at his fiance, like with his fiance or like at work or whatever. So it was like I was basically alone anyway. But it's just like the fact of like, okay, this is mine, and like owning figuratively and literally like it all. I feel like for me, like it's just that like confidence. But you'd be surprised. Like I said that, like I was like, oh yeah, like I just bought a house. Literally, these men are shitting their pants. They're like,
That's what I
what?
was gonna bring up. That's what I was gonna bring up because I feel like it's such a flex. Like you're young too. Like you're a
I
young
didn't do
kid.
much for the last 3 years. That's all I have to say.
What do you mean?
Like, I wasn't, like, traveling like like, I wasn't, like, spending money that I feel like, in my opinion, that, like, the average, like, post-grad, like, they have their first job and, like, they have this sense of money and whatever. Like, I was, like, tucking it all away, which,
But
like,
I
is
feel
what
like
it's what,
it's
like, you're
smart.
supposed to do. I
Like,
just, like, I don't know. Like, there were times where I'm like, I feel like I have FOMO. Like, I wish I was doing, like, I wish I was going on spring break, or I wish I was doing this. But I'm like, no, like, it'll all work out. Like, you'll thank yourself later.
no, it is such a flex though because like literally women couldn't even like have credit cards like 60 years ago. And now you're like owning a home.
No, I actually wanted to talk about that, which,
Okay,
like,
talk about
no,
it.
because it came up when I bought this house, because literally I am the first person in my family besides my two girl cousins. Like, I'm the first woman in my family. Well, I guess they technically bought their houses with their like with their husbands, so like they didn't technically buy their house on their own, but like I'm the first of my family, like generationally, to like live on my own before marriage. Like everyone, like,
Me
and then I like,
too.
right, and I like thought about it. I'm like, dang, like y'all did live at home until, like until you did get married, and like, everyone got married much younger, like in our parents' generation, but still, it was just so taboo. Or they just, didn't have jobs, like they weren't as educated. Like my parents didn't go to college, like there wasn't a means to that at the time either. So like just kind of crazy to think about, like,
It
dang.
is kind of crazy to think about. So, as you have started to tell dudes, because like in this economy, the fact that you bought a house, like literally in this economy, is crazy. But it's all your hard work, which I'm super proud of you. That's so awesome. But like, as you've tried to put your little feet back out there, have they been intimidated by it?
So multiple layers. So granted, it's not like I'm like telling everyone I see, because that's like kind of like, I also try to not be annoying. Like if it organically comes up, like great, but like, hey guys, I just like bought a house, so like bleh. Like I hate that.
No,
Like
be annoying for this podcast. We have to inspire the besties, okay?
no, yeah, no. Like if I were to like tell you anything, like if you're just graduating school, if you are in a limbo period and you got to move home, like save your money. Like, and whether you like buy a house or not, like I don't care. Just like, also it was nice to like have that time like with my dad, because I hadn't lived with my dad since like high school, where in the summer I would go home and live with my mom. So it's kind of like this other, like, we kind of made up for that lost time too. I don't know. Like, I know everyone's family situations are different too, so it might not be like all sunshine and rainbows, but him and I really like, it was like a bachelor pad here. Like, we really kept our space. It was like we would eat and then we'd disperse and like watch our different television at night, and we got along and it was fine. But what was I saying? Oh, the
It was
men,
the
talking
men
about,
thing,
yeah, talking
multi-layered.
about the, yeah, multi-layered. So some of the men that I've met in the wild, hot, what, like I'm like, I know you're a fuck boy, like I'm just talking to you because you look good, like it's fine, like I'm on a bachelorette trip, like that's what this is about, right? Yada yada. They're like, oh my god, that's crazy, like whatever. They're also younger, so like I think them too, like I didn't think I'd be like impressing them in any way. They looked way older than they did, and I was like, the one kid, I was like, yikes. Like I was like, sir, we need to get your skincare routine in check. But anyway, yeah, so he really needed to figure that out. But then there were some other folks I was talking to that then I later found out were in relationships, which I also find to be a common thread. Like, I don't know why, but somehow I'm just, having a nice, like, very platonic, like, normal conversation, and then it just, like, sidetracks a little, and then I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, not that, and that's the thing. It's like, I know people that are in relationships, like, they have the right to, like, talk to anyone in any situation, but, like, why do I keep finding myself, like, getting along and connecting with these people, and then I'm like, oh, you have, like, oh, so after 3 hours of chatting in a public place, like now you're gonna tell me that you have a girlfriend? Like, that's kind of weird. So I'm like, one, like, can't trust anyone. Like, our point has
Facts.
been proven many times. So I'm like, great, another one. Can't trust them. But then two, I'm like, are these people all like 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Like, what's the deal? And also, I've always found myself to be like either like the stepping stone before they get in like that serious relationship, or it's like I'm in this weird place where like I'm always just like the situationship that's just like around. Like I used to make myself so available where I was just like around. Like I was always ready
Available.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's also why I think I'm so not available, because I'm like, I used to be like, hey, it's COVID, I'm bored, like let's go do something. Like like even just to make plans, like I was just so available and so eager. And I've like really been like, ugh, like my schedule's really booked. Like you're gonna have to catch me in October. It's
No,
August.
I
Like,
love that because it's like the Taylor Swift, that lyric is so powerful because like it's like cancel plans just in case you call. Like we've all been there. Every girl has been there, like been too available. And it kind of like does burn you from, but I think it just comes in baby steps, like putting yourself out there a little bit. And I love that you did take the time to like learn yourself and like heal some things and like you're in this whole new chapter. Like I do think that it's gonna come, like there's no way it can't because like you've put in all the work and like you're really special. So I think someone really special will come. But like I also know there's something powerful in knowing that like even if it doesn't come, I'm okay. Like, and I feel like that's where
totally, totally. I agree like tenfold, which like sounds crazy, but like, so I'm an only child. My parents are divorced. My dad is recoupled, like going to get married. And my mom is
couple
like,
the Love
I
Island.
mean, I'm like, yes, my dad would imagine like old people Love Island.
I would love
I
it
would
because I
die.
loved The Golden Bachelor. Like I don't even watch The
No, I
Bachelor, but
know.
I watched The Golden Bachelor.
Hey, Peacock, we have an idea. We can host. Call us. No, but like I actually want to go on a dating show like so bad. It's just, and everyone's like, did you apply? I'm like, I can't apply myself. Like
You need
someone
to
would have
apply
to
for
like,
Love Is Blind. I'm watching the UK one right now.
but they already had a Chicago season,
Who
so I just
cares?
feel
You
like,
can move.
okay.
Wait, do you
You're
have
so
to be from
funny.
the city that they're filming in?
I think they try to like keep the people in the city so it like actually works out,
Oh, oh,
so that
oh.
people don't have to move. Like the freaking Love Island, the guy's in the UK, and he's like, I'm gonna move to Los Angeles.
Yeah, that was insane. Why did they do that?
I can't.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
that's a whole nother episode. Like,
I keep hoping I run
um.
into them. They're scattered around LA all the time.
Oh, but guess what? They're in New York, and I'm going to New York on Thursday for work, so I better run into them. See, and my problem is like Rob, like that's who I want, but like he's everything I shouldn't want, you know? Like that's my problem. If anyone needs to know what my problem is, it's because I want him, and like I like those in the wild, and those in the wild like don't even blink an eye towards me. They're one usually too tall, and two
He was
they're
like
just in their own
that's
world.
every girl though. Like every girl, like we know we shouldn't like Rob, but we're like, I love Rob.
No, I know it's like really a problem, but yeah.
Okay, so your dad recoupled.
Oh yeah, so my dad recoupled. My mom is the single queen she is. Like she's the happiest she's ever been. Like genuinely, and I'm just like, you worry about your parents, they're getting older. You're like, "Oh, like I want to be there or someone is there to like take care of her." But at the same time, like she has dealt with so much in the last like 6-7 years on her own and like fully owning like the stuff that she's had to do. And I'm just like, damn, like if she can do it, I can do it,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of where I get my like girl boss energy from. And not even in a girl boss way, but I just don't know how else to like describe it.
Like independence.
Yes, like she is just up doing her own thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, how is she?" I'm like, "She's thriving."
No,
And I
literally.
wish I was too.
No, I feel the same way because like my mom and dad like got divorced after like 35 years. And like I would call my mom like when I was going through this breakup and I'm like, I'm never gonna get over this. And she's like, Montana, if I got over something after 35 years, you can get over it. Like, and
No, genuinely.
I'd be like, okay, you're right, but like don't make this about you.
No, seriously. I feel like too, for me at least, like it's been also a process of like, you know how they always say, like, until you meet the next person, like, you're kind of like grieving until like you meet that next person because like you still have just those lingering thoughts. Like, I technically haven't been with like someone in like a more exclusive capacity like since college, where I'm like, I can't wait until that next chapter, like whether it works out or not, just to like fully like remove that storage of my brain and like fill it with new stuff, you know, like new core memories of like those moments in a relationship that just like flood back.
But okay, that's a good point because there's something though, I don't like necessarily like fully believe that because I still sometimes think I believe like if you've ever loved someone, you'll always like have a bit of love for them because like I sometimes will think about like a guy from high school and be like, oh, hope he's doing good. Like,
No, ugh, don't even like literally stop. I can't say too much on in the public, but I've been there. That's all I have to say. Or like you're like that crush where you're like, like, what if, you know,
yeah.
like, and then you like see them and you're like, actually, like I'm good. But yeah, that's what happened when I moved back home. Is like you run into these people and you're
Oh,
like,
are you in the
yeah.
town you went to high school in?
I'm in like a neighboring town, but like everyone basically like comes back because like the city's still here. Like everything is like very like our suburbs, I think, are like very like city accessible. Like there's suburbs, but like you're not in the middle of nowhere. And so even if someone lives in the city, like every time I go into the city, I run into someone. And my friends that aren't from here, when we go out, they're like, how do you know everyone? And I'm like, I don't. It's like the city, like it's big, but like it's not that big. Like,
That's what I've learned. Cities are just the world is small because like even LA is this big city. It's so small. You run into
no.
no, it's not.
And that was another problem I had dating is when I moved back, I was matching with these guys, and then I found out that they were like friends with my ex, and I was like, that's not good. Like I literally went to a full date, like fully immersed, and we were like playing the name game because like, you know, that's fun. And then I was like, oh no. And then the whole date, I shit you not, turned into just speaking about him the entire time. And I'm like, I'm never seeing this other person again, unfortunately. That's not going to work out.
Okay, so you're not a homie hopper.
No, like this was like someone
It
that
was
like
on
he
accident.
played on a hockey team. Like it was like a very extended like friend. I say friend loosely. It was like a high school teammate of like, he's like, I pick him up from practice. Are you fucking kidding me? Like what the like I'm like you can't make it up. Like, and then I tell my friends and they're like, really? Like, really? You couldn't find anyone else?
No, literally.
And I'm like, no, I have a type, okay?
What
Leave
is the
me
type?
alone.
What is the type?
Well, I
You
have
like a
like a
little
few, but they end.
Guido?
Yes, I like a little Guido. If they have any hockey affinities, that's always nice. It's not it's not like a need, but like it's a nice to have. Basically just like tall brunette, has morals, has a job. Like, sir, if you do not work or like if you are unmotivated in the slightest, I'm sorry, like we cannot be friends.
Okay, I have a
Not even lovers, we cannot be friends.
Okay, I have a hypothetical for you.
Okay.
Let's say you meet like a dreamy guy, right? But would you let him move into your house? Or would you
Yes, then he could pay me. I mean, like that would have to be like serious, like
No,
a ring
that's
is
what I'm
coming on my
saying.
finger.
Like you guys
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
coupling up, but like he's like, no, I want to just live at your house.
Yeah, no, he would be splitting everything with me. Like I wouldn't be a sugar mama.
Okay, I guess that was a dumb question.
Well, no, because some people do like don't mind that, like whatever, but like I'm not that well off.
What if he's like,
you
I'm
know?
so intimidated, like you have to just sell your house?
I mean, eventually I will. Like I'm not gonna live here forever.
Okay.
Like it's like all of these things.
If
Like
he's the
no, like
one.
no. If he like was like ultimatum, like we have to move into like a new like apartment wherever together, like I'd be like, okay, like I'll come over. Like we can like have shared time at each other's places, but like I can't just move out of here tomorrow. Like it's not the end of a lease or whatever. Like it's a little bit more of a process. I'm like, do you want to help me move all of this stuff out of here? Like, you know?
Yes. In the
Like I have more items than like the average person now that it's like a house, because there's just like so much stuff.
Yeah.
Versus like an apartment, it's like kind of easy to like pack up a U-Haul and be on with your day.
No, this is a journey.
It's just like different adulting things you got to think about.
In the 3 years that you had of like self-discovery, what do you think the biggest thing you learned about yourself was?
Ooh, that's such a good question. The biggest thing I learned is probably, and like I knew this, but like I've been trying to be better about it just with like everything, is like I'm just so stubborn and like I'm hard on myself. But when there's like stuff like I want to do, I do it. And when I don't want to do it, like I am lazy, and it's just like there's no in between, and like I need to find that happy medium where like, for example, like working out like shouldn't be a chore. Like no, like you get to leave your house and like go outside and go on a nice walk because it makes you feel good. Like I had a shitty day and I went outside for a walk and it like rejuvenated me, and now I'm all happy and I can like end my night in peace. And it's like little things like that I just would like totally take for granted, and just like really took little, not even little, because like, you know, grateful it's like nice outside and I could do that, but I don't know.
I get that.
That's kind of weird, but like it's true. I just like I'm so stubborn and I need to like let go. I'm very like I need to like let go of a lot of stuff and like trust. I have trust issues. I need to trust others.
I know, and dating does not help for people with trust issues, especially now. Like you can be in a whole relationship and they have a whole other relationship and you don't know.
No, like genuinely, I'm one of those people that I think I'm like, oh no, like I'll date someone for like, I don't know, like 2-3 years and then like maybe get engaged if that's like the track. But I'm like, honestly, I want someone to be like all in good enough where like, if we're at a year and they're like, yeah, I want to marry you, like you don't have to get married. Like we could have a 2-year engagement after that or whatever. But I'm like, I need you to be all in so that I'm not playing 2 years of Nancy Drew to figure out what's going on. Okay? Like, come on.
You with these one-liners are getting me.
Oh, it's so funny. My friends are always like, you have the best one-liners. And they're like, you should record yourself doing them. And I'm like, but they just come out. Like, I don't, like, think of them before I say it.
I know, but playing Nancy Drew is real. Like, that's, I feel like especially because both of us, like,
and working in social media, you think I don't know.
That's how
how to get your shit.
That is literally how my last relationship ended. I creeped too hard and found things I didn't, but I needed to say them, but like I had to dig for them, and it was not a fun it's not a fun headspace to be like, I know, like have a gut feeling and like have to be like looking for it all the time. Like I don't want that. I want someone like you said, that just makes you feel like so secure. And I feel like because you're secure in yourself that you can attract someone like that.
Yeah, like I feel like for like that used to ick me out, like when someone like really likes you, because I'm like, ugh, like I want to like you more. But
no, the guy needs to like
they have to like me way more. I think because I was like, where did I just see this the other day? It's because I have all the "it ends with us" TikToks, and everyone's like, the only way to have like a successful relationship is if they like you more. Actually, that might have not been the TikTok, but like I've had a lot. They must have known I was coming on the pod because I've had a lot of relationship content being served to me in the last few days.
My algorithm's finally like fixed from like what it was before to now, and like that's what it is now. I'm like, okay, at least I'm like in my niche. Like,
right, yeah, no, and the thing is like it feels nice to not be alone too. Like there's a lot of us out here. Like sometimes like I feel like I'm the only single person in the world. And
no, but I think it is because I think we all have the friends that go in phase. Like I have friends that are like married. My one friend has 3 kids, and then I got all my single friend. Like I think it's nice to have a mix because I feel like if you're a single and you have no friends that are married, it's like you're doomed. Not you're doomed, but like
no, yeah.
You have to have like an example, or you know, people that have done it before too.
Totally. I agree. Like I have 2 friends that are engaged. I have a bunch of friends that are single, and then I have like a handful that are in like long-term serious relationships. They've been with them for a long time. So I have like a solid mix. But I'm always big on like if you are in the relationship, whether you're like engaged, just in a relationship, whatever, don't make it your whole personality and like don't always have that person like with them, or like, I mean, they could come with, but like also make sure like it is something where it's like, okay, like the boys can come or whatever the case may be. Because I just like have had friends in the past that I'm not friends with anymore that would like make it their whole personality.
Or
And
forget about
it's
their
just
friends.
right. And I'm just like, no, like I was here when the last time when you were crying and you needed a shoulder to cry on. I'm like, if you keep dropping me, like I'm not gonna continue to be the shoulder to cry on. But at the same time, I feel like I just saw a video about this too, is having the friends in the different stages. Like we're all really good at giving each other different advice. Like
Yeah.
I could even give like the people in the relationship advice because I'm seeing it from like a clear lens,
Yeah.
where like their lens is a little fogged because they've been with them for a while and they're like getting married and they have all this stuff going on and whatever. Whereas I'm like, you didn't see that? Like, you know?
No,
But
I love that.
yeah.
Because we can all learn from each other. And I think like that is a big thing. That's what I push on here, because like your friends are going to be at your wedding no matter what, but like the guy you're with like might not always. So I think I see it happen so many times, like you get in a relationship and you forget about your friends, and I'm like, you can't forget about your friends, because like they're going to be there reigns, like wish this relationship the best. Like I want the best for you, but I also like don't want you to lose yourself and lose everything that made you you, because that's what happened. Like I lost myself in a relationship because I was like giving so much of myself and like my friends and things that make me happy. And I realized like how easy it was to do that. And I was like, I would never be someone that did that. And then I fucking did it.
No, yeah. You never think, like, I'm saying this now, God willing, I find someone and I'll probably be in the same boat, because you're in that like initial phase of like, well, you are getting to know them and you know your friends so well. And my problem, I think I said this earlier, is like, I am literally so busy between like myself, my work, my friends, and my family that I'm like, they really got to get along with the group, because like the one on one time is like, I know personally is going to be limited. Like they have to gel with my crew, because even my family too, like I spend so much time with them. I'm like, if that doesn't click, like it's not going to work.
True. True.
Which like I hate that that's like my standard, but at the same time I think like that's a, if I have any standard, I feel like that's a good standard to
Yeah,
have.
that you like your family. That's good.
Yeah, like they need a gel. Like I'm the last of like all my cousins are older, so I'm like the last of like, because now they all have kids and everything. So I'm the last of like the older cousins to get married. So like I saw the whole like thing, and that was like growing up. I was like little, and I was like, who are these people? But like they didn't bring anyone home until like it was for real. So like it was nice to also like see how they went about it. Of like, okay, like this is their serious boyfriend or girlfriend. And like my cousin-in-laws, like some of them have been in my life since I was like 5 years old, like literally. So I don't like to just bring anyone around.
No, me, I've literally only ever introduced one person to my family because we had been together for a long time. And I'm like really protective of my family. Like I know they're protective of me and I'm protective of them, and I'm like, no, like I take it even friends. Like I don't even introduce like all my friends to my family, because I'm like, they mean everything to me. Like my closest friends, of course, know them, but like not just any friend. No.
Wait, I have a funny story. It made me think of it when we were talking about our family. So now that I'm like moved out, and even like a little bit before, suddenly, I don't know if it's like because we've gone to like some family weddings and like we've been at things where like there are a lot of couples, and then I'm just like there and it's like a family party. My dad and my stepmom have just been like, oh, like, and I'm like, you guys have so many friends. Like one of them has to have a son. Like, you know, like put my name out there, you know, like you could find me on social media. Like it's not that hard, show them a picture. And so they took my advice and they were like scouting for me, right? First person I tried to have a little bit of a conversation with, like all the things that my dad said were like almost the opposite. It was like, oh, he lives near you. Oh, he's blah, 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 blah. Literally like lives in the city, like all of the opposite things. And this poor kid, like we could not have a conversation. It just fizzled, like whatever. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't even know really what you look like because I tried to look you up and there's a picture from 2016. So I'm sorry. I'm not going off of that. Like I need a little more substance. Then this other guy, my dad takes a photo with and is like, OMG, like Sophia's future husband fully has a girlfriend. Like fully. But the person followed me on social media. So I was like, oh yeah, like he brought up my name, like blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's so cute. Full on relationship. And I'm like, sir, like, first of all, father, can we pre-vet these people? All
Literally,
you have to
ask
do
all
is
the
say,
questions, Dad. What the fuck?
well, I'm just like, Dad, literally you had one job. Like you had one job. You just have to make sure they're single. And then they're not. But then the crazier part was like they followed me on social media. Like I had never met them. It would have been different if we were like all somewhere and like we had met, because then that's like less awkward. But I'm like, you literally don't know me. Like what?
But
Like that's why I can't trust anyone. Like what the
no,
like,
it's gonna happen when you least expect it.
I know, but it's just like you can't make that up.
No.
Like I'm like, really? Really?
I mean, thanks for looking out, but like you gotta.
Like thanks, but no thanks, you know?
No, literally. Okay, so
But like also I don't mind the setup from my dad, because then it's like that's already pre-approved. And that's my biggest critic.
that is true, and
So
he
that's
gets
why
along
I'm
with your
not
family.
against that.
He gets along with your
And
family.
you know, he's got a lot of Guido friends, so I'm like, hey.
You want a Guido, you little Italian.
like-
You want an Italian stallion?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
we like to end with a question. Okay, so I think I might have a feel of it, but like I like guys in relationships. But like, what is your ick? That's everybody's
Okay,
ick, by the way.
No, like, okay, so I was thinking about it, and I don't know if these are icks per se,
Okay, let's see.
but I have a few, so I'll rifle them off. So the first one is like the unmotivated, like that is the biggest ick turn off. Like literally, go get a job.
Go get a couple.
Like, sir. Also, like someone that's like so like lazy, that's just like sitting around all the time. Like even if they do work and like they're just like not going out, not social, someone that isn't social. And like I'm not telling you to be the life of the party, but like if you don't have your own group of friends, red flag. Like you need to have friends, because guess what? I'm not your friend group. You need to have friends, and we can bring our friends together and we can also separate them. But you need to have friends.
And you need to have friends in case it doesn't work out. I maybe met the wrong friend.
True, I also have a story about that, but that is not for public information.
Same.
But yes, this is true, because it just then you start even meeting. That's how then you meet more people just in life and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the no motivation, I forgot
No
the
friends.
other one I said.
No social
No
life.
friends. Yeah, the no friends is a major no. Third, honestly, is just like, and this could be changed. So like this is an ick with an asterisk. Like you need to know how to dress, like to a degree. I'm not telling you to be like a fashion Instagram baddie, but like if you are in like Nike like basketball shorts, like that look like you're in, if you look like you're in circa 2012, like I'm sorry, like we are not going to move any farther. So you need to at least know how to dress yourself, because I'm not your mother, nor do I want to be.
No, because okay, but it's like going back to the Love Island of it all, like like Kenny could not dress. Like he was dressing so bad, and like
No,
immediately,
literally, Kendall took him to Zara.
no,
and
immediately when they
dressed
got
him.
home, they all took him shopping because they're like, "You what?" I was watching like
I mean, thank God he was at least in swimsuit the most of the time.
because I could not handle it. I couldn't handle it.
Oh, but also like Rob's overalls, yay or nay?
He's a snake catcher.
I know. Well, I liked
You know,
him,
I'm
so
from
that's
the
why I'm
country. I
asking you.
loved it. I loved it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you get turned off by that, because you're like, I've been there, done that, like on to greener pastures. Like I don't know.
No, I love an overall.
You're
I
like-
have overalls.
Well, yeah, they're cute.
They're so cute.
But I liked him when he had nothing on underneath.
Yeah, that was kind of hot.
Kinda.
No, he's so dramatic. I
Oh.
can't even.
No, like he's definitely an actor, but like respect.
Oh.
He put on a good show.
He did. It was Rob Island.
Truly. They knew what they were doing when they called him up.
Whoever did the casting needs a freaking raise because it was amazing.
So I think they need to do like a spin-off where it's like Jersey Shore style and it's like the friend group. Because that's why it also did so well, is because like there were all the friend isms and like the lore between everyone. Like, do we think Aaron, might actually be in love with Rob? Because I do.
I do. He got so upset when Rob was gonna leave. but not upset that he cheated on Kaylor.
I've never cried over anyone like that.
No, literally.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I'd cry even about my parents like that. Like that was like something, I don't know what that was.
This was so fun.
Yeah.
It made me go back to the beginning of podcasting, and I'm so glad that you were here with me and you've been on this journey. Is there anything else you want to say? And like, where can the girlies find you? She makes really good recipes and good lifestyle things. And you're Chicago, right? Like it's Chicago, right? Like you show around Chicago.
Yeah.
Did you like Kava? You went there for the first time.
Yeah, so for whatever reason they never had kava in the state of Illinois, which is just bizarre. Like every time I would say to someone like, "Oh, I've never had it," they looked at me like I had like 12 heads, and I'm like, I don't have one in my state. Like the nearest one is in Tennessee. Like I'm not like just going there, you know?
It's
And so they just opened one like not too far from me. Tried it. It was great. And then someone commented on my video and was like, "Oh my gosh, I had to like teach myself how to make it because they don't have one near me either." And I said, "Recipe video idea." So I think I'm going to do like a series of like kava recipes.
oh my god, I love
Because
it.
I'm really upset. I wanted to try the spicy lamb meatballs
They're
and they
so
didn't have
good.
them, but I know how to make lamb meatballs so I can recreate them for everyone. You can make it at home and it not cost $100 for a freaking rice
No,
bowl.
the orzo thing yesterday was yummy looking. Like
Dude, it was so good. It's so easy. Like my new series that I have is called Lazy Girl Dinners, and like I try to make things as easy for people as possible. And my inspiration was my old college roommate could not cook anything to save her soul. Like she would only like microwave stuff, and it just like made me like sad. So like I'd literally cook and like give her some of my leftovers like to eat. Like we would eat it together, you know? And now that I don't live with her, like she's like, "Oh my gosh, like, do you have any more recipes coming out?" Because like she was cooking my recipes and it like literally made my heart like so happy. I'm like, no one ever taught her how to cook. And like, if I could teach her through my videos, like, just like made my heart melt. So I'm like, okay, you're my motivation. If I only make the video for you, like, that's all I care about.
no, I love the videos. Never stop.
Thank you.
Never stop.
Thank you. I won't. As long as I keep eating, I will not stop.
Those are so literally for the past 8 months, all I've cooked is Instagram recipes. So you're in a good space.
Well, yeah, I love it. I love all the fashion content, the travel content, like all of it. You know, I work in influencer marketing, so I'm like, why not try?
No, literally, that's what doing it for other people. I'm like, I can do it for myself. Like I literally post like 75 things a day for my clients. Like I can post one thing for myself.
Right. And I started doing it actually, like not even the food, but just like all of it, like really like getting into it more seriously, like almost like 2 years ago ish. Because this past New Year's Eve, when I was doing like my little like yearly recap, I had so much content of just like memories. And I'm like, that's why I need to do it. Is like because I want to remember all the fun things I've done all year and like all the stuff that me and my friends have done together and like put on, and like at all of our family gatherings, I'm always the one with the camera, like taking pictures of all the kids. And like, I know down the line, I will not regret taking all those photos and videos. Like, it's always a good time. So,
No, I love it. Where can they find these beautiful videos and
um,
photos?
everyone can find me. All of my handles are the same. It's at SOFEEA6. That's literally my screen name from when I was 6 years old on AOL Messenger. And I never changed it. Because in high school, I tried to change it and people literally commented and said, "What happened to your username?" So the people spoke and I kept it and I'm never changing it.
You got to give the people what they want.
Yeah, like I have to, feed the fans. So.
Okay, I love you. I mean it. Bye.